It is a beautiful fall day here as we head back from Ohio to Ontario. Amy and I and the kids, we had a wonderful weekend in Macedonia. Man, I love this time of year. As I said, Amy's not a big Christmas season type person. But
True. And I don't think they need to hear about it every time.
They don't need to hear about it?
No.
I joke. I told you guys 100 times. My favorite time of the year, just season, is the fall. I don't know why. I don't like the winter that much, but I do love the fall. So we're on our way back to Ontario. We got a lot done this week, both on the track and off the track. We get some horses bought in Lexington. We got them all broken going now. The only ones left, that's not true. A couple of the Ontario breds are coming back in. We turned them out in the field. Is the newest problem we have. It's not a big deal, but stalls, moving stalls around. So the Ontario breds will come in and be broke this week. Now you and Danny broke Seasons. What's her name? Seasons of Love. Seasons of Love was broke this week. But the other 3 Ontario breds were out in the field. They'll come in this week. Who's the 5th one? Oh, Peanut. He's coming in too, the Peanut little horse. So we'll have all 5 Ontario breds that we have in Tomiko Training Center this week at some point. Or not Tomiko, I'm sorry. First line this week. We'll also be going to the sale in London. We'll talk about the sale in just a minute. I don't have a ton of hips for you guys to look at just yet because I have a lot to take in. We have to go to the sale. I have to talk to Danny about the horses that he looked at, the ones he liked. I'm going to go down tomorrow to the sale grounds to look at some horses. Tell you what I think of some of them. It won't necessarily be the exact same as it won't be the same as the Lexington show that we did, but at the same token, that was a bit of a pilot project. One we may repeat in Harrisburg. I don't know yet. We are having discussions on that, but I don't know if we can do that just yet. Still some hurdles there. So we have the London sale this week. I noticed there was a lot of the lots left, still shares left in the buckets, and I guess it's kind of important to point out that although we're in Ontario, although it's been our base of operations, and although usually our clients are pretty aggressive when it comes to Ontario breds, I don't see a ton of the Ontario buckets being moved yet. I don't know whether that's me not being more aggressive with them or pushing them to our clients. I'm sure this week they'll be scooped up. We do, in theory, have 2 buckets there that are looking to be filled up. We have horses that are in them already. We have, I believe, what about the shadow play? She's turned out also. Oh, she's one of the 5. Right. We have 1 horse in 1 bucket and 2 in the other. We'll get to that this week. Lots of time to do that. Talk about London. Talk about Harrisburg that's coming up. There's just so much on the go. My focus right now is getting all the money in and getting Lexington paid for, which is much larger than it's ever been before, as you can probably imagine. On the track this week. Let me see. A beautiful assistant. On the track this week, obviously, I just watched Good As Him race today. Finished 5th. He was only beat like a length. Raced rather well. Not the sprinter type, so when he got him down on the inside of that short track, I thought the horse raced well. He just needs to attack more on the end of it. But he's not an old horse with a ton of starts either, so I think there's lots of learning to go with Good As Him. But he raced decent today and raced good last week also with a 3rd place finish. So he's kind of doing, I'd love to say, geez, he wins every week. I mean, we're a little spoiled with Patrick the Piranha in the Saratoga and Plainridge area, but Good As Him also not doing bad down that way. On Monday of last week, we watched Spitfire secure his berth in the Breeders' Crown Eliminations next week. He was fantastic. The horse was amazing. I was so impressed with the way he's raced. So good for James, good for Dominic, everybody that owns in the Spitfire Overseas partnership. The horse was fantastic. Sailor was good again, knocking on the door. I want to get this guy back rolling. I know I threatened a number of times to move him to Ohio. I just wanted to find some classes where he can race consistently. And he has his last 3. Let's see how it boils over into a tougher crew on Monday night. And then White Tiger and Locatelli took up the Open, and they do again this week. I told everybody this is an odd occasion where I'll allow that for right now, those horses to race against one another, but something's got to give at some point. We're not racing 2 horses in the Open. And I told Mohawk that I'm not racing our horses together And I know that I bent a little bit in regards to these two particular horses, but White Tiger's not going anywhere. He's staying in Ontario, and I don't want to move Locatelli, but if they continue to use them over and over again in the Open, then I will move one of them. And it's not something I want to do, so I'm going to let it kind of flesh itself out right now and see where it ends up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But obviously it's something on the very front of my mind every day. So we had a great Monday at Mohawk. Now last week I was heading over to Northfield Park on Wednesday. I was excited to race some of the horses we had. Coupe de Ville, the Coupe finished 5th, but she raced okay. She's going to race, I think, next Saturday. I know that Sweet on Pete, Purple Aura will race next Saturday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. The other filly will also, Smoking Hot Irish Girl. She trained really good yesterday too. So Tuesday we had Tactical Mounds, was a winner and looked very, very good at the Poconos. And Patrick de Piranha was also a winner. We went 2 for 2 on Tuesday. He was a winner at 150-1 at Plain Ridge and just looked very, very good doing it. We're looking at, so far we're heading into Wednesday, and we already have 4 winners on the week. We got a little bit spoiled last week for sure. Patrick de Piranha was awesome. Tactical Mounds awesome on Tuesday. Wednesday we had Macho Martini, who finished 2nd, but I know Ronnie was being a little safe with him, and he went with Ronnie Burke's horse this week, and I'm down to drive Macho Martini. And I can tell you, we're gonna air out old Macho. We're gonna let him stretch his legs this week. I think he raced well to be 2nd last week, and he's back in the same class again next week. So I'm optimistic, to say the least. And my Sweet Mimi raced good again. Kind of an inside trip. Fished her out around the last turn, and she raced really well. Shh. Hey, Turkey, what are you doing? You gonna say hi to everybody? You gonna say hi to everybody? Well, right. Oh, you have horses? Oh, and we have horses too. Governor?
It says Governor?
Governor. So Macho Martini, my Sweet Mimi, raced really well again also. Crantini qualified very, very good that day also. Man, I was really impressed with what I saw from that horse. Both our qualifiers this week looked impressive. I'm getting excited because I start seeing, we'll talk about Patrick in a minute, but LD's Patrick, lost a shoe and made a break in the qualifier, but LD's Patrick has been bomb-proof since we brought him back. I trained him in 58 at Northfield Park, so we'll requalify him. I'll go with him next Friday morning at Mohawk. But man, excited to see him back. And they've been training how close to stay close, do you know?
He's training like a handful of times.
So he's a little bit away yet. A lot of our fall into winter horses are starting to get very, very close to racing, and that's pretty exciting also. As I said, I can't wait to race qualify LD's Patrick next week. But Crantini looked great too, which also secured his place in. I talked to Megan and Scotty after the qualifier. They were both very, very optimistic about the colt. Had made some equipment changes with him. Scotty said the horse was awesome. I said, great, it's going to need to be. He can go to the Breeders' Crown also. Now, I trained Carter Michael Dio I thought 56-4, 57 on, was it last Tuesday? No, it was Tuesday because I left. Last Tuesday morning, I thought he was good. James trained him on Saturday. Said he's still throwing his head a bit and acting up. We have a snake cord on him, and James doesn't like when he's not picking up the bit, and he's not being changed. So I'll probably drive him Friday in the Breeders' Crown Elimination also. All 3 of these colts have had a great year. I fully expect they're going to have a fantastic 2023, and how they end off the rest of the year will be up to them, but all 3 of them look very, very good in their own right. So we went to Thursday. Tai went on, had the outside in the mud. I was not optimistic, especially she's kind of had some so-so races heading into this race. She'd been off a bit. She raced awesome. 2nd in 55-3. Now they come 30-2, but it was muddy. Fenders, rain. It was just a miserable day, and I thought Tai went on, raced very, very well. Adrenaline Rush in Ontario here raced good also to be 3rd. Looked like he was a winner. I think I had some people, Debbie said some people were asking if he was for sale. I guess they didn't realize that it was a claimer. He's for sale every single night. Want him? Come and get him. So Adrenaline Rush, we'll see how he races this week, and if people actually drop a check in the box for him. I don't know. I've been surprised that they've left him alone this long, so maybe they won't. I don't know. How the Hell raced great. James said, he's a little rusty when he goes out. His feet bug him, his knees bug him. He's just growing, right? It's a growing colt, and Harry and Nellie do a great job just keeping him together and keeping him comfortable all week. We'll probably race him for a while, and if he happens to get a little bit worse, we're going to stop with him for a little bit because, as James said, he's just a killer. The horse wants to be a good horse. He said he just got picked off the other day, 54-1, and he trotted as hard as he could right through the wire. You can't ask the horse to do any more than that. Merchant Man made a little break. Yes, he made a break. It was unfortunate, but Joe just sent me a message, said there's a house for lease a mile from the farm. Just messaged me. Yeah, he just messaged me. So, Merchant Man made a break. James, I guess Jody had said something to Dominic after about putting hobbles on him. He didn't realize we just took them off. And James said, yeah, he was good the week before when I drove him, but he'd probably be better right now at least with the hobbles back on. So we'll probably race him next week with the hobbles on. And then Matt's MVP raced good again. I really see Matt's MVP rounding into a nice horse for the stable throughout the rest of the fall into the winter. He's just been a really, really nice horse since we brought him back. And, as I said, we don't always get the horses back the way we want them, right? We turn them out and we're like, let's see this horse come back and do this and do that. Doesn't always work out, but in this case, even more, I believe. I was hoping he'd come back and be a useful non-winners of 1, non-winners of 2 horse, but a trotter that's already taken a mark of 55 in his young career and then is getting better and better and better. I could see him doing really, really good things for us. So very impressed with Matt's MVP. And then Friday, I was so happy. I was almost on pins and needles going with Eglariam. Now, I knew 3 steps into the first turn that she was awesome, but not even 1 second before then did I trust her. She's made that. She's a frustrating horse in the sense that you don't know really if she's not good until she's not good. You'll get to the turn, she'll put a step in and roll off, and no rhyme or reason. Take her blood, it looks okay. Scope her, there's no issue there. You get her checked over by the vet. Vet says no, she's okay. You're left scratching your head saying, geez, what is wrong? Why is she doing this? So we've been tinkering with her shoeing and tinkering with her shoeing, and she is a little oddly shod right now, but the other day, perfect. I couldn't ask her to be any stronger than she was. Now, Dominic had asked, geez, do you want to put her on Lasix in case she starts to bleed a little bit? I said, I don't want to miss any more time with this filly. None. I don't want to miss any more time with Eglariam. We have her good now. Let's get her rocking. If we have to take 2 weeks at some point to put her on Lasix, which she's gone her whole life without it. Yeah, she's gone her whole life without it.
Screwing up her schedule is not a good idea.
Well, her schedule is. She's been going right now. I don't want to rest her at all. I don't want to give her any more time off, any more time to think about what she's doing. I want her on the track and racing. So, we'll see. She's never bled. It's never been a problem before. We've scoped this filly many, many times before. There's never been a bleeding issue. That's not to say there won't ever be, but this is another filly that we have slated to be bred this later in the spring. So, I want to make hay while the sun shines with this filly. We got her good now. For the love of God, let's keep her going good. So that's the plan with Eglariam. I was very happy with her. Now, a lot of people said, oh, what's wrong with Patrick? Patrick lost a shoe, made a break. He has been perfect since we trained him down. I can't really explain the break. I asked James what James thought of the horse. He said, he was just rough in the straightaway and he made a break. Come in and he's missing a shoe. We got him shod. Everything will be fine. There won't be a problem with LD's Patrick. I'll go with him next Friday, although I know it wasn't James. James won races with him. He gets along very well with the horse, but I want to go with him myself just to make sure everything is perfect with him, and also because I love going with LD's Patrick. And then, of course, Saturday was just a huge, or Friday night was a huge night for us. Man, Sintra has just turned into a beast, and he didn't turn into a beast. He somehow, he looks like a 5-year-old now. Like, that was a big mile the other night. Parked to the quarter in 25-4, control the race, put away open pacers, good pacers. 49-2, 26-4 on the end of it. The horse is just he's just a machine. He's just a very, very good. I don't know how long he's going to stay good for. He doesn't have any issues to speak of, and I don't know how long Sintra's going to stay razor sharp and red hot for. But man, when he is. I had said to Tim the other day, and I'd said to Harry when we talked about him, like, Harry had Matt Scooter on the road again, so he's had world champions. We have not. And to have a horse like him, it's a different feeling. To know that he's that talented, that good, it's scary how good this horse is, and we didn't even have him at the peak of his career. You imagine winning in 47. I can only imagine how Jody felt, because I drove him going in 50-1 in Charlottetown, 50 at the Meadows, watched him race in 49. He drove him when he was like 47-2, on his toes, one of the best horses in North America. Man, such a classy horse. Him and a horse like Kings County, but Kings County's got 200 and some thousand or 400 and some thousand made, or whatever he's got made. Cintra's got 1.5 million, and he's just class. It's just hard to explain it until you sit behind it, until you're up close and you can almost touch it. It's right there. It's tangible. Just such a classy horse. He looked fantastic, and then the colt Atlas Hanover looked good again. I think we have a plan now for Atlas Hanover. I'm going to pick up the phone and call Jimmy tomorrow. We may race him once more at the Meadows. I'm not sure, but I would like to see him in the John Simpson on the 27th. What's today, the 16th? Mm-hmm. So that's 11 days. Yeah, he could. I'd like to see him in the John Simpson on the 27th. Wait, no. You said it's the 16th today? Yeah, that's not going to work. He's not going to race back in 6 days. No, it was Friday, right?
Friday.
I think it was carried over from Thursday, so it could be 4 days. That's the 20. That would be a week. Yeah, he could do that. So if he does get back into Meadows, great. We'll use it as a prep race for the John Simpson in Philadelphia, and then he'll go to the Matron, and then he will go to the Progress. Those are absolutely not walkovers, but we will. That's what we have him headed towards.
I forgot 3 point blue chip.
Oh, you forgot about your horse, did you?
Forgot to.
Oh, Amy forgot about her most favorite horse.
Oh, yeah, my most favorite. I haven't seen him in years.
Oh, except for White Tiger, I suppose, and Cake. Did they train Cake again? How was he? Good? Oh, really? So, 3 point blue chip also qualified. How can we miss him? 53-1. You know how we can miss him, because it's out of sight, out of mind. We didn't qualify him. We're along for the ride, same as everybody else, and everybody has asked me, when's he racing? I thought he was racing on Saturday in Indiana, so either they changed their mind or they diverted somewhere else. I'm not sure. I haven't got an update from Julie yet. I will. He'll be racing this week somewhere. I don't think you're going to see him show up in the Breeders' Crown. I think that would be a tall order to ask. Hey, by the way, when you're done breaking your foot, we're just going to put a screw in it, swim you back, train you back, qualify you twice, and because you're ready to race against the best 3-year-olds in the world, we're going to put you in the Breeders' Crown. That's a tall order. I suspect you'll see him show up in Indiana or a prep race somewhere. The fact that the horse is back is just a testament to how professional and strong he is, and what kind of a program that Julie and Andy had the horse on. Just an incredible program. Very meticulous. They've done a great job with the horse. So thank you to them for sure from us. Now back to racing. Saturday night was no free lunch. What a mile from him. What a year Harry Polton's had. Man, he had to come 26-2 or 3 on the end of it, a mile, 50-2, new lifetime mark. And what a race for Scott Zeron. That was Scott Zeron's first win since he broke his wrist and he came back. So congratulations to Scotty also. A great drive. The horse race, fantastic. Take nothing away from him. Very, very proud of him and the entire team at Harry's Barn. I want everybody to take note when we talk about no free lunch. You know, a lot of people were asking us when he had that time off, when's he ready? When's he going to race? Why isn't he racing? Will he be back? I need everybody to take a second and understand, when you have the horses, when you have their blood right, when you have them feeling good, when you have them on the top of their game, they will race like that. And the job that Harry has done, Harry stuck his neck out saying, and I gave him the room because he's the trainer. And he said, no, his blood's just not right. We're going to have to wait. Finally, we schooled him. The horse qualified great and has raced great since he came back, and just a tremendous race the other night. So, again, we all know that they're not machines, but sometimes we forget, right? The horse is sound. He's eating. He looks good. Can he not race? And you look at his blood, and there's something screwed up in his blood. It's a good thing we didn't race him. So, good job by Harry Polton again and his crew to make sure the horse was 100%, because he looked awesome the other night. And a handsome face was our first start with him. Did I overdrive him? Possibly. Quite possibly I did. We won't know until we get the blood back on that horse. I think there was something just a little bit off with him. Maybe he isn't ready to do what I thought he could do, but he just felt to me like either maybe I shut his air a little bit coming to the half, or quite frankly, maybe he went too much. Maybe he bled a little bit. I don't know. But we'll have a better idea on Monday what went on with a handsome face and also What's the other guy's name? Took a dive off, Dipper. He's a little flat, but I think we were a little too protective of him last night because Lauren was driving him, right? And I had heard all these horror stories about how the horse was a runaway, and here we got little Lauren driving the horse. I just didn't want to see her get in trouble with him. And did we put too much gear on him? Was he too subdued? I don't know. I'm not sure. He won't be subdued next week. I can guarantee you that. We'll have him Indigo, and I'll drive him next week, and we'll see what Dipper takes a dive off next week. He'll be going downtown, I believe. So I will talk to everybody very soon. Oh, no, there is other stuff. Oh, my God. That's right. We have two other things I want to talk about. I want to obviously talk about the London sale a little bit more. We have it coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, Monday, I'm going to view some of those horses. Tuesday, I'm going to be at the sale myself. Amy and I. Are you coming down Tuesday? Yeah. Right? Should be done by 5 hours. Does it start at noon or 10? I think it starts at noon. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Danny and I will be down there, or Danny and I and Amy will be down there on Tuesday. Either way, the stable will be well represented in the City of London at the London Select Sale. Now, Wednesday is a little different. That will either be Amy or Danny or both, because I will have to leave Tuesday night to come over here. Wednesday morning, we're going to continue to go with the babies and sets. We've been doing this the last week. Jason Merriman, Jason will be back. McGinnis will be back over there also to give us a hand. I'll be over there on Wednesday also. We got a great group of guys working in the barn right now. It's working out really well. I talked to you guys about that, caretaker shortage, just a workforce shortage in horse racing. And we did hire some people off Indeed.com, which nobody knew how it would work out. But the people we've got in there so far are eager, attentive, and hard workers. So, very, very lucky and happy to have them over there also. So Wednesday morning, I'll be going with them. Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to go over to the Meadows in Washington. Haven't been there in a while. I'm going to race Macho Martini tomorrow or Wednesday afternoon, and then Wednesday night we have 3, and I think you said later, right? Like 10th, 11th, 13th. So I'll probably get a bite.
13th.
Yeah. So I'll probably get a bite to eat after the Meadows, and then just go back to Northfield Park, race at night, and then sleep there. Thursday morning, I might go with the babies again early at the barn until about 10 or 11, and then make my way back over to Ontario. Now, Thursday night we'll be racing some. I might send Flipper home too. So we'll see if I send her home. What else? Thursday night we will be racing, and I might be racing one at Mohawk. Friday we have the Breeders' Crown. Obviously a big night for the stable. We'll have Carter Michael Deal, Spitfire Overseas, and Crantini will be making his way back to Ontario to race in the Breeders' Crown Elimination. Saturday, right after Friday, depending on what race we're in, we may leave after the races. Amy and I and the kids will go. Or did you say you are for sure? You don't know yet? Either way, I have to go over because we have the grassroots finals at Northfield Park next Saturday. After that, what are we going to do? Because we have Purple Laura and Sweet on Pete are paid into Indiana. I have been floating this idea over and over and over again about potentially putting the horses up for sale. I'm watching very, very closely the sales of other horses that are in our jurisdiction, in our grouping that we've raced against that are selling online. And I thought a couple of them maybe sold a little light, and if that's the case, then we won't be selling them. But if we're going to get a fair market, top price, seller's price for our horses, then we will. There are a couple of those horses that are on the market to go. Sweet on Pete, obviously somewhere near the top of that group. Purple Laura, even Taiwan On. I've mentioned her name a couple of times. We need to figure out what we're going to do. Now, Taiwan On's a little different. She has like 4 or 5 lifetime victories, whereas you got Sweet on Pete, who's got like 11 pari-mutuel wins. So it's a tough spot to be in with Sweet on Pete for sure. Been a great filly for us. I know a couple of people have asked about breeding her. I've talked about this a number of times in the videos. She's just worth too much money for the breeding side of Sweet on Pete to buy the people out that don't want to breed. It's just a lot. It's a lot, and actually too much. So a little different circumstances and different waters to navigate with these horses throughout the fall. But every night I go to bed, I think about this a little more, and every day I wake up, it's something I have to address with myself. One of the tougher decisions I've had to make moving forward are those fillies, and Pete's not the only one. There's a number of horses and sophomores in that bracket. So we are always on the lookout and looking for that. We get the London sales. I said we have the horses racing this week. We have things we have to put to bed moving forward. And then we have the Harrisburg sale also coming up. Now, a lot of people already, you guys, I love everybody's aggressiveness. My job, first off, is to get all the money put together for Lexington. That's my job, and that is a big basket to put money into for this year. We get that put away. We'll have London in the middle of that, and then we'll take it just one little short breath, and Harrisburg is there. So already a lot of people saying, hey, when are you going to have the buckets up for Harrisburg? What are you thinking? I love it, but as I said, we're going to have to take a look and see what happens heading into the latter part of October and the first part of November, because that is when Harrisburg starts. And a couple of new yearlings hit the board, hit our stable this week, and a couple more coming privately this week. Every single year we have people that send us horses privately. You guys know that. This year we had one of the standouts so far has been Bill Donnelly, had one of our former clients, always waiting in the wings, always welcome back to the fold. Bill Donnelly is a good man and has always been a good friend of ours. Haven't got Alan back yet. Alan still hasn't. He's a tough one. Haven't got Alan back yet. You'll come. I know you'll make it back, Alan. So Bill Donnelly had bought a lather up colt. He called me the night before the sale and he said, I only got some money to put together and some people that are interested in getting involved, and would the stable want to buy this horse with us and train the horse down? Absolutely, 100%. And actually, when I looked at the horse, very well bred. You see Caviar Alley in the third dam. The horse's name is Electric Line is his name. Second dam, American Rock, and this is a first foal from a Mach 3 mare. A pretty decently bred horse and a good looker too. Hit the pace, did everything right. We broke him. We bought him on Tuesday. When I was at the barn Wednesday, we put the harness on him and jogged him. We went out and jogged like he'd done it 20 times before. Had his head down, playing around, hit the pace a few times. He's just a good-looking horse. And that's the other thing I told Jason Merriman this week. We'd start gating all those horses. Do we have any extra sets of hobbles in Ontario to bring over? Because I don't know how many they have there.
Yeah, I'm sure at Tamiko there's bins and stuff.
So maybe I'll take a couple of sets. I'll take 5 or 10 sets of hobbles back over to Northfield with me this week. That's the other thing. We're moving everything around. I'm trying to get as many stalls as we can get at First Line Training Center. We still have some horses at Tamiko, and we have a number of horses at Northfield also, and we are maxed out at Northfield Park. So a lot of new stuff going on with us also, and a lot that we're trying to get done. So as we make our way back to Ontario, there's new things we got to talk about. I'd sent some texts out to Joe Stutzman at First Line, asking him about more stalls and when we've been able to maximize the stalls in that barn. I'm going to give a call here in a minute to Mr. Bianconi at Northfield Park, asking him for a few more stalls. It's a good problem to have, but at the same time, we don't want it to become an issue with his horses scattered everywhere. It's bad enough that we're splitting this winter to make sure everybody is accommodated. We need to make sure that it's good for us also. So with that, as I said, still tons to talk about this week. On the top of the chalkboard, the one thing that everybody is still kind of quietly questioning is Harrisburg. I have to look at what we've done also. Every single share that's on the stable.ca, I'm on the hook for. That's hanging around my neck right now. So how much is there? How much am I exposed? Can I continue to move forward in a bigger way? We've just had such a tremendous year and have such a strong contingent of horses. And even for the fall, getting ready to go, what we've done and what we've been able to build in 2022, heading into 2023, has been exceptional. Everybody is starting to take notice. What are you doing, silly butt?
No, I'm talking to my horse.
Oh, you're talking to your horses. What we've been able to do has been, as I said, extraordinary, and a lot of people are taking notice now. So I want to make sure that we polish off the fall nicely. I do appreciate everybody, the people that have jumped in on the partnerships, and people that have become partners with us on a number of horses, filled up the buckets. Still a little weak on the Ontario side. We'll see what we can do over the next couple of days, but definitely for right now, I'm super, super impressed with the way things have gone. So thank you very much, as I always say, because none of these buckets, none of this would be possible without you. I truly appreciate the confidence that you have in the stable and our crew, and hopefully we have not just a great finish to 2022, but an even better 2023. Take care.